We're about to take a shot for my sis' first episode, hopefully first of many to come.
Yes.
Birthday celebration again.
Yes.
And
holiday special.
Holiday special.
Hello. Remote location.
First remote episode
First
too.
remote episode in a live audience remotely.
It's just a lot of firsts.
It's so much going on.
So
thank you for tuning in to Sip on This with A Paris. About to get lit with these topics. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for the love and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Without further ado, I bring to you this for you to sip on too.
what's up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of Sip on This with Adam Paris. As you see, I have a new face here, but if you watch my vlogs, she shouldn't be that unfamiliar to you. You was all up and through the Charlotte vlog. And the Mexico vlogs. I forgot. That trip, this is here playing the whole shit.
And
so like everything else, she's the planner in the group. Yeah. But clearly our setup is different because we're actually here in DC to celebrate my good sis' birthday.
Yes.
And our infamous traditional Christmas party that she throws every year. Typically we do this in North Carolina, but again, we're in DC, in your new city that I want to tap into real quick.
Okay.
Well, no, not right now. We'll get to that throughout the show. But anyway, it's a holiday episode. And so we actually have our first live audience in the back here. Y'all can clap it up.
Yep.
So it's a lot of new shit popping off in this episode. So with this being my guinea pig live episode, if shit pop off in the background, we just gonna let it fly. Yeah, just go with it. But first and foremost, we're about to take a shot for my sis' first episode, hopefully first of many to come.
Yes.
Birthday celebration again.
Yes.
And
holiday special.
Holiday special.
Hello. Remote location.
First remote episode
First
too.
remote episode in a live audience remotely.
It's just a lot of firsts.
It's so much going on.
So
we're gonna get this lime.
Yeah.
And we are going to. Our audience is also taking the shot in the back.
Yeah, they are. Come on.
All right. Cheers to the
Come
holidays.
on.
Hello.
What was that? Oh, Terramana. Fire.
Rock.
Blanco. Or is that?
It's Blanco.
Okay, bet.
It's gluten free too. All right.
Damn, this was a thick ass lime. Okay.
I cut them.
No, it was no problem. It's good as hell.
Okay.
Okay, so sis, you know, my icebreakers.
Yes.
My sis came up with the idea for the icebreakers.
Yes.
So since that was your idea, what is it that you are sipping on these days?
Yes. So I am normally sipping on some Don Julio Blanco. It's the bowling ball bottle. That's all I've been sipping on. But lately, I've been getting into really expensive red wines.
I feel like you've always been in the wines.
Yeah, but like now I like to mix it. So we can have a really good night.
Okay.
So yeah, Don Julio Blanco.
She was telling me to aerate my wines because I don't like wine because I get headaches.
Yes, aerate your wines, no headaches.
So I mean, clearly I'm always on tequila. It doesn't matter. I'm not picky with the brand for the most part. They was just dragging me because I'll even stoop down to 1800 if all else fails.
And I think that's
okay. I thought this was a safe place. I thought this was a safe place.
Poverty stricken.
That's only if I can't find the Terramana, the Don, because back home we keep going through these stupid ass tequila shortages. So you got to get it as you can get it.
Absolutely.
You know. But here, y'all, the opportunities are like limitless here. So I'm like, bet. But anyway, so sis.
Yes.
How are you adjusting to DC? Yes. It seems like to me you adjusting well.
Yes. So the adjustment has been a little. In the beginning, it was a little rocky because I transitioned during COVID.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So everybody was like, "Oh man, you're going to a big city. You're leaving Raleigh, man." But it was still shut down when I came here.
Yeah.
So I was extremely homesick. And then when I started, curating friendships and honestly, I feel like and you curate your friendships home when you move. Yeah. And that's the people who really show it for you. When you move and you're in a new element, how do they adjust with you? Right. So I'm big on, I'm not a transition bug. I don't like transitions. But this was the best transition for me. I was just about to ask. So actually, this goes directly into what you just mentioned. Yeah. Do you feel like some or majority of your friendship dynamics have changed with you relocating to another city? So I think that, in the beginning, I think I was a little, I don't want to say, I was a little FOMO. Like my FOMO was really big. Yeah. So everything was emotional. Yeah. I'm home. I'm home. Why didn't you invite me? Yeah. Why? They're like, girl, because your family's here. And I want, so once I got over that, and sometimes I do get FOMO bugs. Sometimes I'm home here and I'm like, oh, my friends are all out. Yeah. I don't like that. But, I feel like, with my friendships, we make an effort to see each other a lot. Yeah. I do come home often. And because I work remotely and I travel for work sometimes, I try to pick my areas that I work so it's closer to home. So I always make sure if I'm in the North Carolina area at all, I'm seeing all of my friends. Yeah. So it's been a really good transition. I haven't lost any friends. I think I've gained more friends and powerful friendships. Like I always say, like this season in my life, like my guys and girlfriends, these are my future children's aunties and uncles. Right. So if we're not here like that, then you can go ahead and like step aside. Honestly, so, no pointless friendship. Yeah, it's just, and then why are you wasting your time? Right. Because I think also COVID, because I moved during COVID, but COVID in general, it's like, let's spend the time really focusing on our friends and our family because they can be gone instantly. And I think COVID kind of woke my eyes to that. So I try to be, as mindful that, everybody can't come to my beck and call, but we try to make it work. So we always do a spring break trip or we always do something to like set the tradition to make these, friendships powerful. Yeah. I was just about to say too, our group in general, I don't realize until I talk to other people that I know, and they're just like, your group is like not the typical like group of friends. And I'm like, but what type of friends do y'all have? I don't understand. Like, y'all don't show up for one another? Yeah. That's kind of a red flag. But I mean, if that you like it, I love it. Yeah. I can't tell you how to pick and choose your friends and how to live your life. And I won't. That's not my place. Not my place. Yeah. But okay, again, DC question. This is probably gonna be stupid, but I just need to know. I hate cold weather. How the fuck do y'all do it up here? So my fiance actually bought me my first heavy coat last year. I was wearing a North Face in the snow. You thought that was a fleece? Because North Carolina's chill. I mean, they shut shit down. It's like, oh, it's snowing? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. We in the house. Here, the roads are plowed. Yeah. We're still going to Target. Yeah. He bought me my first heavy coat. I bought a hat to cover my ears. My next stop is gloves. I mean, no, like not it's for real. Not your next stop is gloves. His mom got me snow boots. They don't play. Yeah, I see. I'm trying to go further down south, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm going to DC." I'm like, I'm definitely coming to visit because I like the culture here. That's something that even like going out last night, I'm like, bro, I would love to have something like this back at home. At your disposal. They won't appreciate shit like that back at home. And if we do have stuff like that at home, it's gonna get shut down. It never fails. Because it's just too much. They don't appreciate, and also it's where we are. Yeah. So, DC was like Chocolate City. Right. So, ain't nobody gonna shut this down. Right. And I wish sometimes when I do come home to Raleigh, I'm like, dang, I know I'm here to see my friends, but I miss being back in the city because we could easily be like, oh, we tried that place 2 months ago. Let's go somewhere else that just opened that's Black owned. Yeah. It's so easy and it's sometimes, I don't consider Raleigh a small city. It's not. But sometimes it's very small minded. Yeah. Perfect. You hit the nail on the head. I was just about to say that because, like, speaking of brunch spots, all the brunch spots that people keep recommending to me at home are, no shade, they're owned by white people. Absolutely. And they party different. First off, it's not, like, when you tell me we're going to brunch, I'm thinking, oh, it's about to be a lituation. I want to jump on a table. Basically. So I go to these brunch spots, and I'm like, this some white people shit. Yeah. I don't want to
Like, what is this? This is on some bougie shit.
Yeah.
I want ATL BQE. That's what I want.
Yes.
Every city I touch down there, you say we're going to brunch. That's what I need. And then they don't even do brunch right because, like, I don't know how true this is, but apparently at home, they don't technically have bottomless mimosas.
Right.
So, like, when you order bottomless mimosas, they give you the little bougie-ass vase-looking shit. And once that's done,
that's it.
You got to order a whole new bottomless situation.
Here, all you hear is boop, 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 pops.
And see, I was spoiled because when we went to Park for engagement weekend, it was truly bottomless. They every few minutes, y'all want refills?
Hurry up, let's go, let's go.
Like, so one set price gets you all this shit?
All of it.
Yeah. See, I don't deserve nice things like that, to be honest. I don't know how to do.
But I will say the caveat of being here, and we can kind of like go in a little roller coaster with this, is it's kind of forced me to jump out of my shell. And so at first I'm like, oh, these are my friends, that's it. No new friends. And it's just like, okay, I can't take Jay to TJ Maxx with me every day. Or I need girls to go out with. So it forces you to jump out of your shell. It forces you to try something different. And I thought I was like set in my way, but there's some stuff that I tried. I'm like, well, hey, why not? And then especially when you have side hustles and you're content creators and influencers and bloggers, it forces you to be like, I have no other option but to push my stuff out there. So it's like, you know, in Raleigh, I don't think we had a lot of competition for like Raleigh bloggers, but everybody looked the same. And so here it's like you can wear stripes and polka dots together. And everybody's like, wow, that's some fly shit. So it's like you're your own individual, and it forces you to come out of your shell. And so when it forces you to come out of your shell, you also get that caveat when you come home and they're like, oh, you want some new shit.
Oh, yeah.
But am I on new shit or am I growing?
Oh.
I mean.
Ooh. So I low-key feel triggered because I'm one of those people that be like, oh, this the DC joy, huh? You on your PG shit, huh?
Yeah.
And your brothers be like Jonathan be frying your ass up. That'd be hilarious.
Every time I come home with a new pair of sneakers, oh, there she goes. She from PG. Jay done turned her out. And I'm like, what's that got to do with, what if I want to, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. So you're used to seeing me in a different light. And I'm like, wait a minute. People up here aren't that, it's not prep squad up here. It's be yourself. And I'm like, well, you know, because I'm moving, I'm still evolving and learning myself. So what people thought I was and what I thought I was, you threw me in a whole different pond with a whole different fish. And maybe I'm like, maybe I'm not a goldfish. Maybe I thought I was because I was swimming with goldfish. But maybe I'm like Dora. Just searching. You never know. Until you're thrown out there. So I always applaud people who move or want to move or are trying to move because it's hard leaving it's hard leaving your pond.
What you're comfortable with.
And then when you're forced to do it, I mean, he didn't force me. Sorry, honey, he didn't force me. But when it's like I made the choice to go because I was like, I've only known 919 my whole life. You know, it's kind of scary. But see, I guess I'm the opposite. I like change. I don't like stagnant at all. Stagnant is boring to me. So when I feel like I'm being trapped in the box, I get annoyed about everything. That's why I don't even like going out at home because I'm like, it's the same shit and same people. I need where new people at. I need new faces. But the other thing is, this is probably gonna come off like contradicting myself, but kind of going to the no new friends thing though. I was kind of team no new friends until, like you said, having to force yourself just in like unfamiliar territory or whatever. It forces you to grow. And so something that I kind of want to dive into next, you was talking about basically like being a content creator or whatever. Both of us being, are you really new to this though? Sorry about that. Had a technical issue. But as I was saying, I was about to ask, would you still consider yourself a new content creator? Because you've tried to do blogs before. So actually, so my blog journey is actually really interesting, and a lot of people don't know I had a blog when I was in college, and it was a combo blog, and I was pitched by this was before people were getting paid to blog, and I was getting free clothes and everything, and like modeling the clothes and writing blog posts, and then then I think I was just caught in a really hard, like, transitional space. And I was like, I don't know if this, I know I love it, but, like, first of all, these, I don't want to call them side hustles, like, these passions that you people have, it has, you need to be able to afford them. And I wasn't making the money that I should have been, or that I thought I should have been to support it. I wasn't going on any trips besides our annual Vegas trip. I wasn't doing I wasn't throwing parties. I was just like, so I was like, what am I going to talk about? Looking back on it, I wish I would have kept it and just evolved it so people can see, like, the evolution. And then in 2000, so that was 2014. No, that was like 2012 to 2014. Then 2017, 18, I relaunched and rebranded and, like, did it the right way. Paid for the domains, paid for the web design, all of that stuff. And then COVID hit. And I had, like, a little COVID depression. I don't know what I had. It was a lot going on. And then I was like, wow, I'm sitting here being depressed. You know, like, I don't want to do air quotes because that's a real thing. So, and I felt that it was a real thing. And I should be pouring this into my passion. And all this anger and this frustration. Other people want to hear it. So then I started getting pitched, like, it's kind of like a God-given thing. So I'm always big on, if it's your passion, it's really your purpose. And if God designed it for you to be your purpose, He'll make sure nothing else will, like, stop you.
I agree.
So I remember I wasn't even posting anything. I got pitched my organics, Shea Moisture at that time. And so I was like, okay, I'll just do little twist out videos. They're only gonna be 30 seconds. Reels were not in. I'll just do that really quick. And so then at that time, well, he was my boyfriend then, but my fiance was learning how to edit. And that's the big thing about, like, having somebody or people that are in covenant with you or connection with you, like, believing in you and believing, like, this isn't a little purpose or a little passion. No, like, this is, I'm working for this. And so then that started becoming serious. And then I was like, okay, let me take it a little more serious. And then I got Target. I got Hallmark. And it's just like, okay, so consistency equals some results. And so now I'm just like, wow, I gotta put stuff out every day. But it's not bad. It's fun when you take the anger and the frustration out of it. Like, okay, for instance, there's some reels that I put out or some TikToks that I put out, like daily vlogs, and they'll only get 15 views, and I'm like, well, damn. At least like that. But at least you put it out there. And I can say, I can say for people who are like, oh, you don't have that many views, and I'm like, well, let's go to your page. Oh, you don't have one. So, like, what are we really saying? Like, we're all trying to do something, and we're all trying to work and strive into our purpose. And because it doesn't look like what the big bloggers or the big influencers look like, that's still big to me. Like, I remember a TikTok I had blew up to like 100K views.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was a big deal to me. And everybody was like, well, you know, you're only gonna get 3 cents to honey, I don't make no sense. I'm just glad that I hit a number that I've never seen before. Or, you know, so I think that when you have a passion and a purpose, and it's a God-designed purpose, I think it will just bother you until you, like, fully commit and walk into it. I think that's my
I completely agree with everything you said. Literally, clearly I can relate to it too, because, like, between the podcast here and even, like, my vlogs and stuff like that, it's like you can easily get caught up in the amount of views and equating that to success in a way, right? And I feel like our generation in general, everything needs to be quick. Like, your attention, it needs to grab you right away, and the success has to come quick too. Everyone feels like with the first thing you post, it needs to hit. The second, everything that you, that's not real life. And so the thing I had to learn, especially when it came to my podcast or whatever, right? These are not, I would call them easy episodes to sit through. Their hour-long conversation. So it's like, if you don't get people's attention in the first few minutes and it tunes them out, sometimes they may not even want to come back. But what I had to learn is, for those, at times, if I do get like 15 views on one video, that's 15 hours that people sat and watched You know, and I'm like, I don't take that lightly. Because I'm like, you could be doing anything in your day and you took this amount of time out of your day to put it towards my content that I created. And then same thing with the vlogs or whatever. Now, granted, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised that the vlogs took off as quick as they did, but at the same time,
it's so personal.
Yeah.
People love, I've noticed, because my TikTok vlogs have kind of like took off when I like plan them correctly. People love knowing what other people are doing. And I'm just like, but I'm just working from home. But people love seeing how you work from home. And I'm like, if that's what y'all want to see, I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, you gotta cater to what people want to see.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask, so kind of, okay, so you talked about what kind of sparks you back to start back doing your vlogs or whatever. Kind of tapping into what you said too. That was kind of my case too with the podcast here, because the idea was actually brought to me. And I sat on it for a year. Yeah, I sat on it for a year. Then COVID happened. And I'm kind of like, it was always in the back of my head, you should be doing this. And then finally, I was like, okay, well, with it being COVID, I have nothing but time now. So it's kind of like, instead of just sitting around being stagnant, why not give it a try? But like you said, I had to learn, this shit is expensive.
It's a very expensive.
So unless you take it serious, like,
don't waste your time.
No, I'm definitely not a person that is about to waste my time for anything or anybody for that matter.
And then what I could also say, we're talking about like friend groups and then purpose. So our friend circle is like a really, like when you were talking about, it was an interesting dynamic. All of us, even if we still work our full-time jobs, all of us have aligned in our purpose sometime between 2019 and now. And I think that's what probably makes a lot of friend groups easier. Because you're like, yo, I have this idea. Or somebody brings the idea to you. And also speaking on that, when you do have friends that have these, like their God-given purpose, and you gotta sow into that. So, you know, like my best friend's fiance is a photographer. And I knew he was a photographer. And I was just like, okay, you know, and he was like, I just want to get some influencer shots. And he was like, yeah, I won't charge you. I just want to get them for my portfolio. And I was like, no, because this is your craft. And this is what pays your bills. So I know when brands send me stuff, I need my check. I need the invoice 30-day net. So no, nothing's for free, and that sets the tone. That sets the tone. Like, no, we are a friend group, and we're tight knit, and we all have different lanes of creativity, and we're gonna hone into that to show. Like, yeah, you my friend. I didn't know if I said the N word, but you my N word. But you know, at the same time, I'm your client.
That part.
And that's the level of professionalism you also have to handle with your friends. You know, I was training with Bishop one day, and I was like, I really don't like this.
Man, I was like, Bishop lucky he not here right now in this live audience. I could really say a thing or two to him.
But that's your passion. And I'm a work these workouts when I come to Raleigh. And I'm not gonna look back, but that is your passion, right? So, you know, I just always say that about friendships and making sure your circle is connected to you as well, and connected to your growth in your purpose.
I was just going to add on to the fact that something else that other people have actually said about our friend group too, talking about supporting each other's crafts. It doesn't matter what each of us are doing. We're always constantly reposting what this person is doing. But I like the fact that, like, seeing everyone's growth from the start, like the foundation that they laid down to where everyone is now. Just like speaking of Devontae, like I remember when he first picked up a camera, I was like, same thing for you or whatever. I was like, do you think you would mind taking shots for my podcast? He was like, yeah. And like literally every photo he took, I'm like,
fire,
bro, like you're natural
really
at this. And like he told me, he's like, no, you're good. I'm like, no,
you're not.
It's all that back and forth.
Seriously.
And then now, like you said, like I hit him up and I'm like, yo, how much for a session for this day on this time? So I like the fact that, like you said, it's all about being professional still amongst your friends too. And like kind of knowing and understanding their worth. Because a lot of, I'm going to say niggas, it's some nigga shit. a lot of niggas, when they have their own like businesses that they're trying to jumpstart and build clientele for, they come up with a certain price and niggas still try to hustle their prices, like try to haggle with them. And it's like, come on, you got to start honoring people's prices. If they tell you a price you don't like it, move on to the next person. Just like you would do any other business. You won't go to these white businesses being like, oh, how much is it for this? Oh, do you think we could? No, white people, you know they're not going to hear that. So that's something amongst our culture that I just feel like we need to stop doing, because that shit is ghetto. I told you this was a live
audience.
People rolling in, we're like, hey. But so, yeah.
So that was friendships, transitioning, moving.
I can't wait to move.
Really?
Yes. You know my situation. I'm just wait. I'm not gonna move for any situation. It needs to feel right and make sense, because you know I'm a logical person too. So I'm not about to move into a situation that's gonna set me back at all. It needs to kind of like meet me where I am in my lifestyle as of now. So that's I'm just not willing to settle in that aspect. Is pretty much
and I don't think you should.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah,
and then that kind of goes into like being a content creator, and like there was a time where I actually countered Target. I was like, that's too low for what you're asking. I was like, I cannot believe I said that.
You didn't tell me this.
I was like, oh my. So they gave
not Target.
So it was a summer. It was a summer promo, and they gave me amount to do a blog post, 2 or 3 Instagram stories, and a stagnant. And now be careful with that stagnant word, because that means they can take it and post it anytime. And so I was like, oh my gosh, Target's gonna do all this work. This is great. Oh my god, yeah. And then I kind of sat on. I was like, I'm worth more than this. And so I'm like, I'm gonna ask for double. And if they say no, then like, wow, okay, that sucks. And they came back double plus. And I was like,
oh, that's what's
now
up.
we can get to typing. And because they know, because I'm such a micro influencer, they know I'm gonna go bam, bam. Like all my stuff's turned in on time, but you know, you gotta pay me right. But you're gonna get what, you know, somebody who is passionate, and it's not just a check. Like that check is probably, you know, I try to average like 10 campaigns a year. You are adding to me growing in my quota. So that's not, it's not just a Target campaign, or I'm not just, and like I think like black people, we gotta stop that. It's not just,
I knew you was
not just my little Instagram or my
Yes.
little blog.
Yes.
No, like what I make in a post from a company, like that's some people's check.
Yes.
So like it's not little.
Right.
And you know, and I don't think people understand how derogatory that word is until they go into their own passion and they're like, wow. I don't like the way that sounded. I'm like, I know. Doesn't sound good.
I had to learn that actually through Devontae and Bishop, because during our episode, I used the word little, and they was like, let's stop using that word. Like, delete that from your vocabulary, because nothing you do was little. And the story that I was telling them was, when I used the term little, I was like, I couldn't believe, like, from my little podcast, I had only done like maybe 5 episodes. And somebody from London hit me up and was like, we want to promote like your podcast on our channel. Like, we want to set up a Zoom meeting, X, Y, and Z. And I was just like, I can't believe little old me. And that's when they stepped in and said, no, not little old you. Like, stop saying that. And then from there, just kind of like leaning into discomfort again for content creating. This is for anybody that's beginning or whatever, right? It's like, you don't realize just by the few times you do initially post, like, what eyes can land on that post that can take it to the next level. Kind of touching back into the collaborations I've even had, because even through Devontae, actually through the photos we've taken, I've had modeling opportunities come up, and at first I was kind of like, that's weird. I didn't really see myself doing that, but I actually did my first like fashion show last week, and I loved it. I was like, it was chaotic as hell, I'm not gonna lie, but I was like,
opened a door that you didn't know was possible.
that I didn't know was possible. So I'm like, bet. And then from there, even with that being my starter show, the people I work with like me so much. It was like, we're definitely hitting you up for like future collabs and stuff like that. I'm like, so you're limiting yourself by just not putting faith in God and in your purpose to just put the content out there. Right.
Okay, so speaking of opening doors, and we're in the holiday season. So, you know what? Devontae and I, and Sarita and Jay, we started a tradition. Every year, we sit to the table because it only works when you have somebody you're connected to.
Facts.
So we sit at a table and we're like, what are we asking God for this year?
Yeah.
What are we manifesting?
Yeah.
And everything we say out loud,
yes.
the door is open.
Yeah, people don't understand the power in that either.
And it's also the power of who you're connected to. There's a lot of stuff that us four have said that we would never say in a big group, but we're like, look, I'm asking God for it. And if he can open the door, let's do it.
Yeah.
I remember one year, I know Devontae was like, I would love to get my first paid photo shoot. And he's booked.
Stay booked.
So, like he has no more, the calendar is great.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you never know who you're in connection with, and him taking an influencer photo shoot of me has opened other people to tap in and was like, well, maybe I want to be a blogger. There goes 3 people right there.
Right.
Or you just never know who you're in covenant with.
Right.
And so I feel like some people block their blessings and block their doors because I don't want to tell people what's going on because I don't want them to steal my idea.
Yeah.
And black people, we're so big on they're going to steal my idea.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get more money off of it. And
Facts.
I've learned, especially being a blogger, nobody is you. So whether I get 10 likes or 1,000, nobody is me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to own them 10 likes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to own the 1,000.
Right.
And it's still going to be me.
Right.
Because nobody can do it.
Right.
And
Facts.
I'm just so big on that. I'm so big on staying true to you and staying true to what you believe and not budging because it doesn't look what's presented doesn't look like what you think. It's like, okay, that's not what I want. So we can close that door. But, in the same time, what he'll do is he'll open something else better. And sometimes he'll close them for you.
Yeah, facts. Tapping into the red flags episode I had with Martisha, that's something that people don't pay attention to. They ask God to send them red flags, and when he sends them, they ignore them.
They're like, oh my God, no.
Yeah, they're like,
it's a little yellow.
Yeah, and yellow.
Yeah,
and then
yellow.
In their gut, they know that was a red flag, but they go against it anyway, expecting a different result.
Right.
Which is insane. But I can't say I've been guilty to that, so it is what it is.
Definitely.
But I was gonna ask, maybe you kind of touched on this already. What do you think is your favorite thing about you being a content creator so far?
I think that I can say whatever I want and I really don't care.
Facts.
And people are paying me to be me.
Facts.
And if that's quirky, a lot of people, because we both work in pharma.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people think we're stuffy, we're in a box, we're wearing lab coats, we're wearing goggles. And so when a lot of people see me in real life, they're like, oh, that's not what I thought, So definitely that is like the biggest part of, the best part. I get to be myself unapologetically. Yeah. And that's why I know, like, when I was coming up with like my name, like Infamous Joy, a lot of people were like, "What infamous means bad?" But I was like, "To you." Yeah. Because I'm unapologetically me. Yeah. So if that's bad or good to you, but it's still me. Yeah. So that's why it's always infamous, because I'm always infamously being myself.
I always liked your name.
Thanks.
I feel like a lot of people in our group always have like catchy like handle names and little creative stuff. Like I don't know why, like Vontae, by the way, Vontae shot it. I don't know why. I'm like, that's so fire to me.
Yeah, it's like, wait, who shot your photos? Oh, Vontae shot it.
Yeah, yes, that's why I'm like, I don't know. It's the little catchy stuff that like really like gets people attention or whatever. Right. But if I had to answer that question for myself, again, I'm learning more about myself by leaning into that discomfort or whatever, because like not knowing what sort of doors you're blocking yourself from opening by simply not taking the chance, like with new experiences. Yeah, and that's another reason why I feel like the older I get, the more I want to move now, because like I've been putting myself in so many different experiences. I'm like, I know I can adapt to any change I've been through at this point. Just like, so I recently started a new job, which I don't know if y'all can tell. I had recorded half the season like about a month ago. Yeah. And my schedule has been hectic between this, the vlogs, and work. So I'm just like trying to adapt to all that. And it gets hectic at times, but the reward feels so
much
good.
Better. Yeah. You said we can freestyle, right? Y'all got a question? Kaylin,
bless you.
Anna? We're not on live, y'all.
So what's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Christmas, okay. All right.
You want me to go first?
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about Christmas? From our live audience, what's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Honestly, it's not even. I'm not like a. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not like a. Is the word I'm looking for monetary? Maybe not. I'm not about the gift giving.
Materialistic.
Yeah, materialistic is the word I'm looking for. Thanks, sis. So I'm not materialistic. I just like the Christmas spirit of the season or whatever. Like, yeah, I like being around because like my family back at home, like we're all out of state. So like me and my immediate family are in North Carolina. My grandparents on my mother's side are in South Carolina, and my other grandparents are in New York. So like for the first time ever, I spent Thanksgiving with my family. Like this past Thanksgiving we went to the Poconos. We were actually supposed to come here as a crazy thing, but we met in the Poconos, and that was my first time ever having Thanksgiving with that whole side of my family. Yeah. So that's something I'll always remember.
You don't have to worry about the pressure of, do I get a gift?
Right.
Money's not an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So.
I think I don't know. Christmas isn't my favorite holiday. But I don't have a favorite holiday. It's like the best time of the year, I think. Because, I mean, like, you get to throw Christmas parties and shit like this, and it's like no pressure.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna throw a little Christmas party real quick. And I think people will come together and have like a lit ass time. I think that's like the best part. Like it doesn't even have to be a gift. Like you just cooking. Like you heard, I know for Jay's mom, she used to make me a seafood lasagna every Christmas, and she knew I was obsessed with it. And just like you doing that, that's better than buying me something that could collect dust possibly, you know? Because a lot of stuff we get our parents nowadays, I don't even know what to get parents.
Okay, can we tap into that real quick? Because I do want to talk about Christmas pressures. Because I still have not Christmas shopped. Everyone's getting money at this point.
Yeah.
Because
thankfully, everybody's just getting me.
Because like I'm just like me and my father talked about this the other day, right? We're just like thankfully our family's been so blessed in like everyone's personal situations. It's like really we're all at a point to where you're blessed enough that like whatever you want you can go get yourself. Right. And like you don't have to wait for Christmas for that particular thing you're wanting, right? You can just go out and get it. So it's like what do you give somebody that essentially has everything they need? Yeah. You know, so that's what where we're kind of like it's just a vibe at this point. Like
so Joy talked about traditions.
Yeah.
So we're starting
new traditions.
Yes, I like that too.
Last Christmas versus.
So and that's what you're supposed to do. It's like let's get out of the norm of like let's all wear these button ups and let's do something cool. Let's do something fun. Yeah. And like for Jay and we have a tradition every Christmas Eve. I always said that when I want to have kids, I want them to love coming home. Yeah. And I would love to learn how to bake. So every Christmas Eve I bake a dish like a dessert from scratch, and we bake it together. In our pajamas, and we watch like some movie that we want to watch together, and that's our Christmas Eve tradition, and we've done it every year we've dated. And then Christmas Day, we actually don't do Christmas gifts.
Oh, really?
So we've only done it 1 year, our first year. I think we're trying to like show out for each other. And then we were like, this is not really that fun. Yeah. And so every Christmas Day, we come home like between the 25th and 26th, and we empty out what we have not worn the whole year. And he donates to the men's shelter, and I dedicate to the women's shelter. Yeah. And we give to somebody for Christmas.
That's interesting you said that because shout out to Camille. Camille actually put together a donation for us that we submitted all of our stuff in on the 15th, and that's something we want to do every year going forward too. That's cool.
And then also a tradition that you started for no pressure for Christmas gifts, we do a white elephant. Yeah. So everybody who sows reaps something. Yeah. So I think it's just I don't like the pressure of Christmas gifts. I think it's a little nauseating.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I had a conversation with someone before. Growing up, we didn't get Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because our parents
couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you remember, my brother.
In the background.
Mom used to, when she started working, she worked at this company, and they would have these big stockings that they would give. Now, if you ever went to the dollar store and you saw those nylon type of stockings, so it was kind of big, but she came home with that, and I thought that was the greatest thing. Now, let me tell you, there were like dollar store type of toys in it, but it was a present that we never
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
you know, so it was everything to us.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, with the situation currently, you know, with us, our family, losing 2 parents less than a year.
Yeah.
It's all about family.
It's all about spending time.
Yeah.
Spending time together.
And creating memories together.
Yeah. And living those traditions that we have and creating new traditions.
Right. Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, did you you look like you wanted to say something a few minutes ago, or am I tripping?
Maybe.
But you don't remember.
What was it?
I was gonna. I didn't know which round I wanted to go in.
You can go anywhere. It's a freestyle with a live audience.
Which direction I wanted to go in. So
Take it left or right.
What is the key to true happiness?
Oh, that's a deep question.
You know, we can tie this into Christmas. Some people are happy just to get a gift. They think, oh my gosh, I'm the luckiest person in the world. You know why? Because my family got me all these gifts, and I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Okay, say it one more time, because I want to make sure.
The key to happiness. True happiness.
Well, my key to happiness is whatever brings me peace. Is like, that's what my goal is in life. Yeah, like I just want peace at all times, and like that's why I'm a person, I pick up on energies of people like really quickly, and like I think when a lot of people meet me, sometimes I've been told after I get cool with somebody, they're like, you know, I thought you were stuck up when I first met you. I was like, nah.
You're a little off-putting sometimes.
Yeah, because like honestly, like if your energy don't sit well with me, I'm also not a fake person. I feel like 9 times out of 10, if your energy reads off to me a certain way, it's a reason why, and I'm gonna find out why eventually. So I'm gonna just kind of stay clear of you. Luckily, I honestly haven't had that happen too many times, especially as of what is going on, especially as of recently. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely stay away from negativity as much as possible.
So that's like a really good question also, because when my mom gets all of her kids, like we're all together, and we go out to dinner and we're still and we can talk, we do like TED Talks at the table. And going on True Happiness, my brother asked, you know, he's young and he's like, what's your definition of success? Like, how do you know, ooh, I'm successful? And we were just like, well, you know, I'm sitting with you guys.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. Like, is it money? Is it like how much you got in stocks? Is it your salary? And I was like, I think the older you go, your expectations and your definition of happiness and success change.
Definitely, yeah.
So before, it's like, oh my God, I'm happy because I'm in a loving relationship and I can buy like Gucci boots if I wanted to. And then, oh, I have a job.
Yeah.
And now it's like, for me in this season, it's like, wow, my parents are here. And then it's almost like, oh wow, I'm in a family dynamic where we all can come,
right? And
his family can come and my family can come,
right,
and do it for us,
right?
And that makes us happy,
right?
You know, or you know, for both of us equally, I don't have a sister and he doesn't have brothers. For all of us,
I didn't think about that. So that's lit.
For all of us to mingle, and we both on both sides have never had it. That's happiness to me, you know. Or like, gosh, I paid my mortgage on time. That makes me happy.
Because adulting is hard.
You know, so I think there's like so many tiers of happiness, but just being still and present. And it could have went the other way.
Right.
We could have been in a body bag. Or we could have, like with the violence and COVID and people getting laid off on their jobs and the way that he had favor on us, anybody should be happy. And that's true happiness.
That's so crazy that you touched on that, because that's what me and my cousin Maddie talked about a couple episodes ago. Just like, it's kind of like people, it's okay, just to rip the Band-Aid off, it's like people pray for things that they truly aren't working towards to actually receive, if that makes sense. It's like
action with the favor.
It's like you're just praying for something like, oh God, please bless me with this job, as if God's just gonna be like, okay, here's the job. But it's like you got to work towards that blessing.
You haven't shown him that you can handle it. Or people are like, oh my gosh, if the second I make 6 figures, that's it, I'm good. And it's like, but you haven't showed him that you can handle 40K. He gave you the
one word is for me.
Peace.
That's it. Earlier.
Peace.
So if you're making 6 figures and you're peaceful, you know, because sometimes you can make 6 figures and and then you go and accumulate more stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Peace.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I am okay with me
Yeah.
and happy with me.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I was about to say, did you have a follow-up, or was that the only question you had?
Anybody have another question?
I mean,
What was the left and what was the right question?
Yeah, that's maybe.
I told you he looks
It
just
must-
like, he looks just like Jay, right?
Yes.
I told you.
Everybody at the family's starting to show up, so don't be alarmed. I told y'all this is a live event.
So
Yes.
what is the one place that you've always wanted to visit and why?
Ooh. See, this is hard because you're asking people that travel.
Okay.
I
have
still
one. I
got.
have
What that place is for me.
I have one.
Okay.
One. So, I've actually wanted to go for about 3 years, and I won't even tell the background story. But I would love to go to St. Croix and visit my real mom, my mom's real dad's grave. And I would like to see how his siblings and visit them. And so that is like on the top of my bucket list. Like the second I can get to St. Croix or St. Kitts, because they're all spread out.
Right.
That'd be the most. And then after that, I don't know, maybe Maldives. But I don't know, I'm not boring. I heard Maldives is boring. I don't want to sit.
It does
I just
look
want to
kinda
party. I want to
bougie
dance.
and
I
boring.
don't want to read on water.
Yeah.
That's weird.
For me,
Yeah.
I can't just say one. I got like a top 3.
Okay.
So I really want to go to Bora Bora.
Yeah.
That's 1.
Okay.
2, I even still want to get to Hawaii, even though I know
Okay. Yeah.
like everything out there is costly out here. That's what's kind of keeping me from going there.
Yeah.
And then my other one, I want to go to Tokyo because I like Japanese culture.
Yeah,
So like,
that's cool.
I really want to go. And like, I know people that like have been stationed out there and they loved it when they lived in Japan.
Yeah.
I've known people that were stationed in Hawaii, and it's 50-50. I know people that hated it, and I know people that loved it. It's just, I guess it's just depend on the person and like what you like in your environment or
And I guess
whatever.
it depends on what part of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went to Hawaii. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Her and Jay.
I worked for the Navy, so I used to travel.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Ships, yeah. And really for me, because the kids were small, I would fly in, work, so I can fly out.
Yeah.
And then I would arrive like Saturday morning and then have to go back out Sunday night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But traveling back to see the kids. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when they came over, I did take time to actually explore, and it is a beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, one of the places, Tokyo, as you were talking, Bora Bora, I've heard a lot about Bora Bora, but I haven't really researched it.
Yeah.
But then Africa.
Yeah.
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 I left that off my list. That
Yeah.
was my top 3, but Africa is definitely up there too.
Yeah.
Specifically, so the travel agent that I book a lot of my trips with, she every year always be like, you got to go to Morocco. I don't know why that's the place that she recommends everyone to go to, but Chase's aunt actually went with her to Morocco, and she was like, yes, like everything she said it would be, it was that and more. She was like, it was beautiful.
And it's
Yeah.
interesting because, as the media does, you always see the bad part.
Right.
The part.
Right.
I saw something on Instagram, and they were showing these beautiful houses. They were like mansion, and someone was just driving down the
They're
street.
crazy.
I don't know what part of Africa it was.
Yeah.
But you would have thought you were in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a totally
Right.
different world. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw that same video.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually learned, so again, working in pharmaceuticals, you meet so many different people. And some of my coworkers were actually African, and they were like, listen, from us, like, y'all have got to get to Africa to get back connected to your roots, because over here, it's like they brainwash you guys to like believe we're a certain way over there, and we're the complete opposite.
Yeah.
They were like, over here, like how y'all view us as poor, really y'all are the poor ones.
Yeah.
She was like, over here, they didn't even know what credit was till they got here. They're like, you guys need credit to get you houses,
Everything.
cars. She said over there,
It's cash
it's
rules.
cash.
Yeah.
She's like, we purchase our homes, cars.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
She's like, so if you see people with iPhones, they own that iPhone. There's no leasing. There's like, what is this?
Yeah, because I remember I went to Dubai, and it's a different type of money in Dubai.
Oh, I bet.
And it was so cool because Dubai was on my dad's top list because he's Muslim, and there was a mosque.
Yeah.
And like being able to like, you had to be barefoot, covered up, but just to like touch where he wanted to touch and sit on a prayer rug and all that. And that was his top place.
Yeah.
It was just like, gosh, like I'm fulfilling like your parents' dream.
Yeah.
And going back to what makes happiness and all that. It's like the fact that we are able in a position to do that, and that's something that they've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think it's and they sacrifice so much for us to do it.
Right.
I think sometimes we lose hindsight in that,
Right.
and we kind of get lost in what people can do for you.
Right.
But what have you done for other people?
Right. I agree.
I do start of that because although they may not have done it, parents, the mere fact that you were they boost you.
They find joy in that.
Yeah, they do.
They love that.
They love when we come back from our trips and talk about our experiences.
Yeah, they love that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So to tie up the episode, I have a question.
Oh.
Okay, so what are you manifesting for 2022?
So, small scale wise, I want to still, like I said, I've been manifesting this for the last year that I want to move to Florida.
Okay, good. Okay.
That's just that.
Okay.
And then, kind of like this kind of taps into like our personal meaning of success. I want to, although I feel like I'm pouring a lot into my content, I still want to kind of like level up in a sense, because like I'm all about growth and like I like feedback. So like I tell people in my episodes, like, give me feedback, which a lot of people honestly do in my DMs, and especially if they are close enough to me too, they'll tell me like, hey, just like with you, after you watch the first episode, Adam, you should do icebreaker moments. Like little stuff like that. Like it's stuff that I honestly wouldn't have thought about until someone brought the idea to me, and then I incorporated it. So it's stuff that, little stuff like that. No, not little stuff. Taking things of that nature and actually applying it to help level up the platforms that I've been able to develop. And I kind of want to, I'm learning to grow out of being so closed-minded to a lot, and just like, it'll be able to open up opportunities for me. So like I just want to manifest like limitless. Like
good word.
I would say limitless experiences, expectations, something along the lines of that. Yeah. What about you?
So for 2022, I'm actually manifesting a prosperous marriage. We put in 2021, we put in a lot of work to get the building blocks of a good foundation for marriage. And I think I know they always say the first year is the worst year, toughest year. So getting through that 2022, that's what I'm manifesting. Because when your household's together, everything else falls into place. So if my household's right,
that foundation got to be stable first,
That's what I'm manifesting.
Cool.
And it will happen. But I'm just saying, you asked. So.
And this wedding is about to be lit.
Yes.
It's clearly wedding season.
It is.
Because after one, it's another. Bad to bad. I love to see it.
Are you wearing the same shirt?
No.
I didn't have that shirt yesterday?
No.
Oh my God, it looks so similar.
You said the same thing. You're filming a pod.
But it's live. We already put out the disclaimer.
Your Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I love it. Is your back out in that shirt? Oh, it's literally a different shirt.
This is what happens when you're live. You get all the craziness that's going on during this setup.
Well, thank you, Adam, for having me. And me being your first, destination.
No, I was about to say, this has been so lit. Like, I just hit her. I was
like, are you lying to me?
because I hit you up. I was like, because we were going to do it virtual first. And then I was like, wait, I'm going to DC. Why won't? And now all of my equipment is portable. And she got the stuff that I was going to bring. I was like, oh, this is like perfect. So thanks for having your space.
Thank you.
Clearly, you guys, this is like literally guests are about to start coming in probably within the next 5 minutes.
Seconds.
Yes.
So we thank you for bearing with us with the noise and. We hope you enjoy how transparent our talk was. We hope you enjoy the audience that we had because they were lit AF. And we hope that you enjoyed us kind of being transparent about where we are in our content, where we are in our life, what we're manifesting for our life, and like little things in between, Christmas, trips. I mean, it was so much to unpack.
Right.
Being transparent.
I'm also filming a vlog while we're doing all this too.
Yes.
So
So
I have a
hopefully,
DC vlog.
hopefully you put some bloopers in there.
Oh,
and people can
absolutely.
see what's going on. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I mean, it's been a lit weekend.
It has.
And I mean, like the set. And then here's the cool thing about your friends.
Yeah.
One of our friends is DJing.
Yeah.
And I'll never get another DJ but him. And he traveled to North Carolina to DJ.
That part.
One of my other friends is a photographer for like photographing the event.
That part.
I mean, all we need is a chef.
Pending. Not me, because I'm not cooking nothing. I'm showing up to eat and drink. I'm a good time.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I bring. I'm a vibe.
Ruby, thank you for watching Sip on This.
Yes, and thank you live audience for participating. They tried to stay quiet as hard as they could, so now I know they're really about to bust it wide open.
So we are now officially going to turn up.
Yes. So thank you guys for tuning in. As my
real.
sis said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff y'all like to do.
Where's your like? Is it bing or is it bing?
I think I put it at the bottom. Bing. You guys know where it's at. I'll have it in the thumbnail.
Yes.
How about that? And I'm gonna have her information in the description down below. Oh, do you have your blog stuff? Because if so, I'll put down in the description too.
Everything's the same because when you're a content creator, everything has to be synced.
Got to make it easy.
JOI.com.
That part. What was you about to say though?
I was just about to say, let's go party.
That part.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Sip on This with A Paris. About to get lit with these topics. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for the love and your time. Don't forget to like,